Okay, good morning, everybody. Hello, I'm back again. Today is August the 13th, which is a Saturday. And this is my podcast, Spiritual Sense, as well as my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. And in this channel, I'll go over topics in regards to the paranormal, occult, supernatural. So I speak on things such as curses, hauntings, out of body experiences, soul travel, astral projection, Wiccan, witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, Santeria, Satanism. And I like to stress that this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, is for entertainment purposes. And so I'm briefly going to go into the topic for today, which is entitled Spiritual Warfare. Now, I'd like to also mention that this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, is a open social discussion on those topics. So it's not a biblical um, podcast nor a web presentation. So what is spiritual warfare? It says spiritual warfare is the cosmic war of good versus evil. Its battles are fought daily between God and Satan, between the Christian church and the world system, ruled by our spiritual enemy. And within clear meanings of good and evil as defined by God rather than man are revealed within the verses of the Holy Bible and the life of, as it mentions here, Jesus Christ. So in regards to this, it goes a little bit more, and this is the this particular website's definition and depiction on it. Um, you know, I hate to always be, everything is about spiritual battle, this, and that, but that's essentially what it is. It's essentially what I mean. We all battle demons. We all battle some form of thing or another. We all struggle. You may not want to, too king of the word battle, but struggle with things in terms of everyday life events, experiences, and things of the sort. So it does mention some scriptures. I'm not going to go into any scriptures in regards to a battle because I do feel as though I refer back to the text, the biblical text on, a time or two. And I think it was written in a coded manner to where it was, not coming right out and offending individuals when you are in a company with people that are not of your like mind. That's what I feel. So a lot of it is written metaphorically, um, and as such, to not offend certain individuals, because many people may not feel as though that they are the enemy, particularly if they are. There may be some mental concerns, and I'm not saying this to be facetious, but there may be some mental concerns and things of the sort. So when you're exposed to a lot of different energies, a lot of different people, you have to be very aware and conscientious of the powers that may be on another in another land and another space or another, and that's basically what that is. So with spiritual discernment and understanding, you want to make sure you are in, pretty much on one accord in terms of, not doing things or saying things. You don't want to live like you are in a shell or in a box, but of course you want to know that you want to know who your enemy is, hands down. And also you want to have discernment to know what truly is an enemy versus what is not. Because many a times those spirits can taunt you to where you be in overdrive and you think everybody's out to get you and everybody is against you, and that's not the case. So it may appear to be that way. That's why exposure to a lot of different things can bring in confusion, can make things unbearable for you. So that's basically what that is. It does mention some scriptures here. But I think spiritual warfare is a whole lot more than external forces. I mean, you have, your own demons that you battle, depression, anxiety, whatever uh medical concerns that you may have. And so you got to understand that when you are exposed to the world, you have a whole a genre of a number of individuals that begin to pull on your spirit. And a lot of times that can perpetuate a psychic attack. I mentioned this in my episode a couple of podcasts ago about psychic attack and how exposure can pull those energies even when you think you have total control. You can be under the guidance of that. So you have to be careful in terms of uh the exposure where you go and things of the sort, because I feel as though what the number of people that is in the world, we would never even know half of them. We would even we won't even be exposed to a number of things. So who's to say truly, we could just only go off of hypothetics, we can only go off of statistics, but who's to honestly can truly give an account as to what you can potentially be exposed to. And so I think in essence, you do rituals to shield off a lot of those energies, because it can be overwhelming and it can take over and lay its presence in your space, and you'll begin to take on that impression. So spiritual warfare is real. We all are dealing with adversaries in one form of fashion or another. And you want to have strength, you want to be strong, you want to have a good uh faith-based, whatever faith you are in, there is a God, supreme God. I do feel like there are other gods and goddesses as well. And I'm saying that to say that can influence you. You have different spirits. And when you begin to get those, that spiritual eye and that third eye opening, God will reveal certain spirits to you. I mentioned about Lilith. I mentioned about the Jezebel spirit, enchanted spirits. Um, Oftentimes they're doing it without even thought, without even thinking about it, and you'll begin to see that. You know, you have people out here, they can think on a higher scale of things. I mean, it's out of this world, it's out of sight. And I think oftentimes it can perpetuate a lot of that energy in. So you got to be very careful, you know. The best thing to do, because this is basically what I do, try to stay out of harm's way. You know, I'm not saying living in box. I'm not saying be paranoid and fearful, but go under the radar as much as possible, meaning don't put yourself out there. Even though I'm doing this podcast as well as this YouTube channel, potentially, I mean, I don't, because the desire is not for it to be put out. And I know it's not going to be a whole bunch of exposure put out. So this is how you're able to narrow down where certain energies is coming from. But it's a case that kept coming, focusing on. I kept focusing on, because I saw a movie on it, and a lot of revelation came out about how spirits work and what exactly they mean when they say this versus that, and da 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 da. You know, so I'm not going to be on here too long speaking on spiritual warfare, but it is real. I do feel like it is real. Um, and you just have to recognize and realize the biggest tool and tricks that the enemy perpetuates out, and having the ability to understand what it is talking about and why the things that are happening are as such. Okay. So I am going to conclude this YouTube channel as well as podcast speaking on spiritual warfare. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.